All right, so for our everyman knowledge segment, we actually brought in a professional, someone who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, instead of us just researching a whole bunch of stuff. Brought Julio. He's our.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in here, man.
For sure.
Yeah, so we just pretty much want to ask him a whole bunch of questions that I think would be very helpful for like the average guy going in for a haircut. I know everyone gets a haircut all the damn time, but I feel like there's a lot of sort of misunderstanding and a lot of like miscommunications when you're going in for a haircut. And I feel like, actually having those questions answered would be very helpful.
Right.
So what you guys got for him, man?
So I guess the first question we wanted to ask was, do you have any pet peeves for customers? Something that a customer does that would irritate you?
Pet peeves,
You got
real quick, it's going to be probably when a client slouches in the chair or has body positioning that's bad, because we look at the head as a canvas. So when my canvas is leaning over, then I'm painting in a different position that's kind of awkward. So you're not going to get the best result. So whether you're moving someone's shoulders back or fixing their head or just creating some kind of awareness, but some people just have that nature in them where they jolt really quick,
Right. Yeah.
or they just slowly start getting back hunched over, and you got to keep moving them back.
Yeah.
But
So you need good posture, like sitting up straight and looking straight ahead is the best way to.
Exactly. So your canvas is here instead of.
I know whenever I'm getting a haircut, man, I try to stay as still as possible, and I just let, like, whenever the barber wants my head to move, he'll just move it for me.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be, right? Yeah.
But see, I have terrible posture. Like naturally, I'm always just like.
I didn't want to say anything.
I should sit up straight.
You
Dude,
get these bad boys.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! So we didn't even say. So he works at the Argyle League. It's one of the best, most highly rated barbershops in Houston. It's 4.9 on Yelp. If you don't believe me, look it up.
Damn.
So how long you been there, man?
I've been there for 4 years. I started, 3 months after they opened. I was the owner's first apprentice.
Sweet.
And went through the apprenticeship program with him from the start. I think the whiskey went down there. And learned everything from him,
Dude.
Every little thing. It's been really cool. Just start in one step, and then just see it grow like crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you get into it though? Like you've had other jobs before this job, obviously, or was this your first like?
No,
barbershop job?
I was going to. I don't know if anyone knows where Big Cat's barbershop is.
Yeah, dude, for
Yes.
sure. I used to get my haircut there. Yeah.
So I was going there because I was told that you could go there. You could get a fade, and you could also get scissors on top. Most hood shops, they can cut a mean fade, but they don't know how to use their scissors. And I was looking for that, so I went over there because I was trying to get like a pompadour or something. This was like maybe 10 years ago or something, right? And I was seeing Bart. I don't know if you were going to Bart.
First guy.
Yeah.
First guy when you opened the door. Yeah.
He used to wait tables, and I was waiting tables at the time. And we would just talk shit about how much it sucks to like get yelled at for lemons or something. And
fuck lemons.
Yeah. So he suggested going to barber school, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I'll think about it. And he just brought it back up again.
Yeah.
And then and he's like, I think you'd make a good barber. I was like, why? Like my hands or something?
He's like, you look like a barber, bro.
Yeah.
You just got that barber face.
No, this happened as I started becoming a barber. I used to
You
look
just
completely
morphed
different.
into a barber.
Check. Beard, check. Glasses, check. Tattoos. I gotta get more tattoos. But then the second time he brought it up, I listened to him, and I went to barber school. And I always thought barbers were lazy.
Yeah.
That couldn't cut hair. Like they were just lazy. They just didn't want to try as hard. But I learned from day one of barber school that no, this is an art form. I never really appreciated it that way. I just thought some just put more effort than others. Like everyone could do it, just some were lazy. Like no, some literally can't do it.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that creative eye, they don't have that attention to detail, and then in barber schools where I began to appreciate that.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that because Ray, the guy who's usually working the cameras, he was like, he's talking about Bart. He's like, you should go there because that dude's a fucking artist.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny how you kind of just make that parallel. It's funny, man.
For sure.
And it's crazy because you gotta like analyze because everybody has a different shape head, different size head. It's like anatomy, dude.
That's
you
one
gotta
of my
analyze.
questions, man. Do you ever get like guys who come in and like they want a haircut, but their head just isn't shaped for that
or their
haircut?
hair
For
isn't
sure.
the type of hair.
For sure.
that's
So you just
needed
have
for
to
that
do it, or do you like?
No.
You talking
I'm
about it?
honest. I'm brutally honest.
That's
like,
perfect.
Your head's not gonna do that. Your hair's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a matter of like thinning or balding, or you have weird patches, or your like occipital bone back here sticks out too much and creates like a weird shadow. Yeah. It's better to just be honest with them because as soon as you're honest with them, they're gonna trust you right away.
Right.
So they're gonna know whatever we get to, I trust this guy because he's not lying to me. He's not bullshitting me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dude. I wish my barber would told
I
me
know.
He's like, yeah, this is gonna be
Makes
great.
sense. Yeah, come on. You can't get a flat top, dude. You have no freaking you have really fine hair and no, the volume. Like, that wouldn't work for me because my hair isn't made for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I need thicker hair, sadly.
Well, that's one thing that's actually really interesting that I think about a lot, actually, from like a very racial point of view, and just the way we look at what we want to emulate. Sometimes,
Yeah.
You'll get a lot of people that are of either Asian background, Hispanic background, even African American backgrounds, and they'll bring pictures of Caucasians, and the hair types are completely different. And
Yeah.
it's almost like you're bringing me a picture of David Beckham, but it's clear that you don't have hair like David Beckham.
But
like,
your name's Cuauhtemoc.
yeah, like this is gonna be hard to do, and then that's part of the consultation. You find a way to tell them like we're gonna get you as close as we can.
Yeah.
And then
Damn, dude.
they usually agree.
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to get hair like the Beckham Juniors.
I wanted to get into like some of the business side of things. Like, I know that like certain shops you have to like pay for a chair, right?
Mhm.
And then like other shops, I guess you might not have to. And then like some shops they'll pay you like an hourly rate, and then others might not. You're just based off of tips. So what's like the most common like way that barbers get paid, and is like paying for a chair a common thing as well?
So the most common way is chair rentals, and commission is usually more in the cosmetology industry.
Okay.
From what I've seen, just with the barbers that I know, either whether they're hood barbers or they're like established barbers.
Right.
At our shop, we do commission, and it's actually really good because we get paid bi-weekly, on check. Taxes are taken out,
Oh,
all of that, so you don't have to worry about doing like just an I-9 or anything like that. You
Right.
get W-2, and that's the way I prefer it. While the other guys are like, they're mostly taking cash, so the
Yeah.
taxes are just set up differently where they can choose to report how much they want to, so they're
Yeah.
keeping a bigger profit margin.
Right.
But with the W-2, you're able to report how much income you're making. It's good for the bank. You can apply for a loan, credit cards,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
So like, but the major source of income for you guys is tips, obviously, right?
No,
Or is it just
tips
like
and commission.
commission from like selling products?
No, from the services.
Oh, okay.
So you get a percentage of the service, and then the shop gets the other percentage,
Oh, okay.
and then you get 100% of your tip,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get commission based on product sales and bonuses and things like
Oh,
that.
that's cool.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. See, the one thing is that like I think a lot of us want to leave a good tip when we're getting a haircut, but there's not like a rule of thumb. I don't think like for haircuts, like if you go to a restaurant, they're like if the minimum is like 15%, right, for like a waiter. But I don't. Is there anything like that for like getting a haircut? Is there like a percentage or a minimum amount that people should leave to be considered like a good tip?
Yeah, what's a courteous amount?
Right.
What's like etiquette?
Etiquette, and I've practiced this etiquette since I was going to La Hondureña over in the north side.
Yeah.
$5 a haircut.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like $5 is a respectable tip. It's definitely on the lower end.
Yeah.
I would say where I'm working, average is $10 tip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then so yeah, 5 would be acceptable. Anything under that is kind of
Yeah.
like, damn, bro.
All right.
Singles.
4? 2?
Damn.
You give me one $2 bill? What the hell?
So I had a question.
Yeah.
So what's like? Because I've been struggling to find. I had a really badass haircut, and we talked about this on the first episode of the podcast. I used to have long hair like up to here.
Yeah.
And so I went to the tune-up, one of the tune-up franchises.
Yeah.
And I saw, because I was seeing the reviews, and then there was this one girl that had really good reviews, and so they put me with her, and she was like, oh, it's a blank canvas, like I'm just like, she was really excited, and she did a great job, and really took her time, and did also my beard and everything, and this is the first time I've ever gotten that kind of treatment. So right, usually like shit, like hey, yeah, shut up. But so she left somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been able to find her. So I've been to 3 different. I've gotten 3 different haircuts. I've gotten 3 different haircuts since then, and I just can't land on somebody. And I had the experience where I didn't know what to ask for. I had no idea. So what I said was, I haven't had a haircut in like a year, so just do whatever you think fits my face. So what are the different, like we were saying earlier, you're not going to give somebody a haircut that it's not for them. So what kind of haircuts are for what?
Well, Marlon, I think now's
things?
the time to say this is Julio. and this is an intervention.
I've been trying to grow it out so that I can have something to work with. I want to emulate the first scenario. But yeah, so what are, I guess, for somebody that doesn't know what to get or is confused about it, like what are some tips that, you know, okay, well, this haircut is probably, if you have this kind of, you know, body type or face or whatever features, this is probably not for you. This is for you. You like, do you have any of those kind of little tips?
So barbering is, it's definitely, it's an art form, right?
Mhm.
So, and then with you guys, when a client comes in, they're commissioning an art piece from you. There's a sculpture, you know, it's a sculpture that you're doing.
Mhm.
You're creating by removing, right? So I treat it that way personally, me as a barber. And when you come in, I'm looking to see, what are you commissioning from me? Like, what do you want? So a little bit of it has to do with like a little bit of mind reading. So I'm going to ask you, do you have any pictures? So that way I can get in your head a little bit. What is this guy seeing that he thinks he wants to see on his face? And then if you were to show me something, you for example, where like maybe the hair was in front of the face, I would suggest against it. I would suggest something with a little bit of lift because it elongates the face instead
That's
of bringing
exactly
it down.
what she said.
What she said. I don't know if that was a sexual joke or like.
No.
That is
That's
what she said.
exactly-
That was
It's
exactly
like
what
the
she
ultimate.
said.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's
That's
factual.
exactly what
Factual.
she
And
said.
yeah, so that's exactly what she said. Yeah. She was just like, because it was just up to, it was just like here, and I have a chubby face already, and I grew the facial hair to try and, because if I shave it, I just like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And so I started, you know, growing the facial hair to kind of create shadows where I didn't have any, and so she worked on all that, and that's one of the things that she said that you need to do, like
You need
up.
some lift.
You
bro.
need to go
Some
up.
volume.
I mean, it can be volume similar to his or just mine where like it's kind of just up, or even his where it's messy. Just anything going up just help elongate the face.
Yeah.
What about somebody that has the opposite problem? Like maybe they have a really thin face. Is there like something else?
No, at that point, again, just let me see,
You're
let me see
fucked.
the pictures. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's in your head? What do you think is too short? What do you think is too long? I'm notorious for asking like too many questions to where my clients are almost like annoyed by it. But it's like, I want to figure out exactly what you want because I'm treating it almost like a tattoo. You got this
Yeah.
little tattoo you're gonna have on your head for 2 weeks, and I'm responsible for it. That's
Mhm.
a lot of. It's gonna have a lot of pressure.
Right,
you know?
yeah, for sure,
You know?
for
Especially
sure.
if you take yourself seriously and you're a career barber, you're gonna want to give the best you can.
100%.
So, so I'm always trying to get there, no matter what. But some clients can be a little difficult because they kind of want you to just know.
Right.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah.
never like, hey, here's your face. This is the cut you're gonna get.
So do you kind of wish that everyone would show you a picture, or and so do you like,
Either show me a picture or speak a little barber. And some of us do speak a little barber. Some of us more than others. Like there are people that think, you know, fades only exist from like a 0 to a bald fade, right?
Right.
In certain parts of the neighborhood, but when you're doing like a 2 on the sides, there's still a fade element in there
Mhm.
where it's going up in levels, but it's not necessarily to the skin
Mhm.
and really sharp.
Can you tell us what the difference is between a fade and a taper? Because I have no idea, or
But-
if there even is a
Yeah.
difference.
So
or-
the both terms mean the same thing,
okay.
right? But in the streets, if you say taper fade, which is just saying taper or fade
Fade.
yeah,
Is that a fucking go route? What is
it's
that?
just the sideburns in the back of the neck. It's just
Oh,
your
okay.
classic
Okay.
taper fade.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen it before, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Well, yeah, everyone used to get it.
Yeah.
Thinking about doing it again.
Shit.
So I mean, I guess communication's huge then, right? Whenever you're coming, so not this time I got a haircut, but the last time I went a couple weeks ago, there was a guy, and midway through, man, he was in the next chair over, and he was midway through his haircut, he was like, "Oh yeah, and can you just kind of like blend it towards the middle?" And like midway through his haircut, and the barber was like, "Well, what do you mean?" You know, like.
Oh yeah.
That sounds kind of vague to me. I mean, I don't speak barber lingo, but to me, that was just like, what? That's super vague. Like,
Do you want
he's
a
already-
mohawk,
he's
bro?
already-
Let's go.
halfway
in the
through
middle,
halfway through the
on the
haircut,
closer
man.
to the
Has
left.
that ever happened to you before? Like,
Well, you know, that did happen to me. It happened to me a lot in the beginning, and luckily the owner of the shop is really good about you presenting a situation and presenting a solution. So it's like, this means that your consultations need to get better.
Yep.
You need to figure out how to translate what they're saying, and it's going to be different for every person.
Right.
And don't get them to the shampoo bowl. Don't start the haircut until you know exactly what they want. And even if there's doubt as you're cutting their hair, show them the mirror. Stop midway. take the mirror. We're gonna look at the
Mhm.
back. This is what we're working with. This is what we're talking about. This is what I'm doing, and just that way they get the final result that they want.
Yeah.
Or else you're gonna have an unhappy client. You're gonna run
Mhm.
behind. He's gonna ask you to do something midway into the cut. It's gonna change everything.
Right.
The next guy's pissed because you're running late.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. So like more than half the battle is just the communication.
Oh,
Like the
yeah,
technique's there. You know
Yeah.
how to cut hair. You just
Exactly.
want to know
Yeah.
what to give the
Mhm.
person.
Yeah,
what they
and I
want.
guess I would say sometimes customers would leave unhappy because they
Right.
didn't communicate
They didn't
exactly
know
what they wanted.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in that situation, the person to blame is the barber, because one, you can blame the barber for giving a poor consultation
Mhm.
and not really trying to figure out what they want,
Mhm.
and we've all been guilty of it.
Mhm.
Or the client just blames the barber because he thinks the barber sucks or something. You know,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So, is there like a kind of haircut? Like if somebody walks in and they're like, "I want this haircut," and you're like, either you don't like doing that style, or like it's just time consuming, or it's just difficult. Like, is there a certain style of haircut where you're just like, "Fuck"? Because I think everybody has that like at their job. It's like that one thing that they just don't like to do. Is there like a style that you just like you're not fond of?
Curly hair.
You just anything with curly hair?
Yeah,
My
because
son's
curly
fucked.
hair, when you go to grab it, it just wraps around your
Right.
finger. So when you try
Right.
to go in to cut it, sometimes you'll
Oh.
clip your knuckles.
Oh,
No.
And then it's harder to see shape with curly hair.
Yeah.
And then we don't get as much of it because not everyone has curly hair. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the practice with curly hair is limited.
Oh, dude, because every time we get my son a haircut, like we take him into like this kid haircut place, and everybody's like, "Oh, his hair is so cute, it's so curly." They're just in their mind, they're just like, "Fuck, like, I don't want to cut this little bastard's hair."
Man, fuck this kid. Fuck his
Everybody-
parents.
Shitty jeans with the curly hair.
One thing to know about curly hair though is you always want to go and cut on the longer side, because since it retracts,
Right.
if you cut too short, it's gonna retract even more. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for your boy.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, Ole's
Good
gonna be
tips, bro.
styling.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time I'm in Houston, I'm gonna bring him to you, man. Good luck communicating with that little asshole.
I don't do kids, bro.
Especially
Yeah,
not ones with
I don't
fucking
cut 'em,
curly
I
hair.
don't fucking have any. I don't do kids in life. No kids for me.
So, do you think you could tell the difference between like whose haircut's like the most expensive here?
Who's got the most expensive haircut out of? Well, you know what he.
Well, not Marlon. Marlon's wearing a hat.
Okay.
Mine's growing out.
Okay. Who's got
Yeah.
the most expensive haircut and who's got the cheapest haircut? Just
So-
take a guess.
So I always look at people's haircuts, right?
Yeah.
No matter where I'm at. Okay. But you can't really tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell that way where it's like, oh, you got the expensive haircut or you got the not. Like, it's just
Mhm.
that guy has the right job, or you got someone that just is killing it in the hood. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You may just have somebody that's doing good.
Or someone who
But
actually
I
like
will
fucking.
say somebody in here has an error in their haircut.
Oh.
Big one.
Point it out. Point it
A
out. Point it
big
out.
one.
Point it out.
And
Point it
I've been
out.
looking at it all
Point
night,
it out.
and it's you, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Tell me what it is.
No
Tell-
shame against your barber, but there's an area in the back that's just sticking out of the crown of your head.
Boom.
So it's just like this, and then
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. I got my haircut today, so
and I want to just.
do you have like clippers?
He's like,
Yeah.
pulls it out. Yeah, actually, as a matter
Man,
of
that would have
fact.
been funny.
Yeah,
Should
dude.
have brought him.
I was like, I got a haircut yesterday. I was like, damn it, maybe I could have got a haircut on the podcast. Opportunity missed. Could have got a free
But
haircut.
it's small. It's
Yeah.
just me being nitpicky.
Yeah.
They would have noticed it if it was that big a deal, you know.
No,
They
yeah.
would've
I
said
had no
something.
idea.
No, no, for
But
sure,
You've got
for
like the eye for
No.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
but
They're gonna be looking
I
for
wanna
the
see
voice.
Hey Tom, your hair's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have for the rest of the night, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like
I
my
hate that guy.
because I don't really like pay a lot of attention to detail, or like at least in my hair. Like I feel like the hair that I request, the haircut that I request is like easy and like it's really hard to fuck up. So I just go to like a local Supercuts type place, dude.
Yeah.
I get like a $16 haircut, but
As long as you're happy.
I think it's
Yeah.
just because like I think I've always wanted to like like maybe do something else with it, but it's like it's kind of hard because my hair is like really fine and
Yeah.
like this is just the style that it works in, and I was like I'm just gonna leave it this way, you know. And so yeah, dude, I've always wanted to try something else, but it's kind of hard, dude. Like people like it's kind of scary to fuck with your hair once you get something that you like.
Yeah,
People
Yeah,
don't want to
so
switch it up. That
For me,
much.
man, it's like a tattoo artist, man. Once you find someone who does like the legitimate
Right.
work, you want to keep. I'm a loyalist, man. I'm like a
Right.
brand loyalist with like clothing or cars or whatever it
Phones.
is.
Fucking-
Phones, yeah, man. Tattoos. barbers, although mine's fired now. You know what I mean? So like once you
We
find the
know a
guy, no, once you find like someone who like you feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
and you enjoy,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what's
yeah.
wrong? You know, if you
No, right.
paying
It-
$15 if you fucking like it,
Right.
man, and
No, but it
looks
sucks for
fun.
me because like I don't. Those people just the turnaround is so crazy when you go to one of those like little shops.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
people just like hop around to different places. So like, dude, I roll the dice, man. Like sometimes I don't know these people, and I'm just like, fuck. I'm just hoping they don't fuck up my hair for 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And it's nerve wracking, man.
Oh
but-
yeah.
So-
That's a part of the reason why the Argyle League is so successful is that we are trying to, as much as we can, take away that nerve wracking experience.
Right.
Because when you
You
sit
know
in the
what
chair,
you're gonna
the-
get
yeah,
every time
Yeah,
you go.
dude.
the way the
Especially-
barber talks to you, you're just
Right.
gonna be like, this guy
Dude,
knows his shit.
Just
Like,
talking to you right now, you're more qualified than any other fucking person that's touched my hair, dude. Just like the way the way that you're thinking about things and the way we're talking about it, I'm like, man, like it's another level, dude.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
it's
totally
fun.
worth it
Yeah.
to pay that premium to know that you're gonna have somebody that knows what they're doing. It's not their first freaking week on the job, you know. And once you like, if I find somebody that works at a well-established place, even if it's more money, just to know that I'm gonna get the consistency, I would pay it, man. I would for sure pay 30, 40, whatever it is, because I know they're not gonna mess my hair up. You know? So I need to find that place back in Austin.
I'm sure
Just
there's a
go to
place there.
Shed. I think
Yeah, go
I've
to
been there a
Shed.
couple times.
Shed?
Shed's kind of like a, not like a sister shop, but like the owners are friends. The owners
Oh,
of
okay.
Shed and the owners of the Argyle League, and whenever we go up there, we like
Oh,
hang
dude,
out a little bit.
I think they have
I'm
like
gonna
two.
tell you sent
They
me
have
real-
like 2
real
locations
talented.
in
Oh, cool,
Austin.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let them know you sent me.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
That's
Shed.
awesome.
I get busy. I'm actually gonna be there in 2 weeks.
There we
Oh,
go.
really?
Oh, dude.
Oh, do you want a
Are you-
haircut?
yes, in 2 weeks.
Yes.
do
You're
it.
the second guy. That's how we're gonna get space. Yeah. Let me text them and find exactly when I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna
Chris,
set
I
it up.
think it's
So
time
bug.
to tell you this is an intervention.
You do have the shittiest haircut.
No, I have the most expensive, shittiest haircut. I think because I paid. So I went to one of those shops, one of those hood shops that you're talking about. I was desperate for a haircut. I can't remember what I had going on that I needed to get a haircut, and it was already long because of my previous failed attempt at getting a good haircut. And so I went to this guy and I said, I have a skin condition. I have psoriasis, so I can't have like super short hair like that because it would just like
Sun.
see the patches or whatever. So I told him, he's like, well, how do you get it? And I was like, well, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, get like a 3, I guess, down here length.
Communication is key,
and then-
Marlon.
I thought he was talking about the
No,
psoriasis.
I didn't.
Like, how do you
Right,
get
I
it?
get it. I was born with it. I was
thought so
born with
too.
it.
Maybe it's Maybelline, bro.
Yeah.
Is that sexually transmitted?
Yeah, right. Did somebody jizz in your head? No, so it's not contagious or anything for anybody that doesn't know. But he asked me, how do you want it? And I was like, well, just 3 down here is about the limit, and also I can't have it too short because I have, if my hair gets cut too short, it just stands up, and that's where it's at right now. So he's like, all right, cool. I got you, man. And I said, and also just kind of line up the beard or whatever. And he's like, cool. So he turns me around and he starts like, zzz, doing his thing. And I'm like, man, this feels really breezy in here. And he turns me around, dude. And like after he did the whole thing, and I'm like, damn, dude, it was so short. Like it's so short up here that when he like toweled it off, it just, my hair just stood up, just like would not even bend. And I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? There's not even like a 3. Like it's not a 3. And he gave me a porn stash, dude, like where it was just like on top of the lip, like creeper porn stash, not like full thick porn stash. He shaved it down to like a little line up here, and I was like, what? Tom saw me the next day. So I could have sworn, he says no, but I could have sworn that he went. He saw me and he was like. He just
flinched.
He's like, nah, man, it looks good.
It's like, okay, so it's
I
like
know you're Puerto
it
Rican.
wasn't like early 90s porn stash. It was like early 2000s porn
Yeah.
stash. That's
I look like that creepy director. What was that guy's name? John something.
John Waters.
John Waters. I look like him, bro. I was like, man, it sucks. I still tipped him $10 because he did spend a lot of time on it.
Fucking up
So
your
he was
hair.
like, he was like, he was getting it wrong, but he got it. He got it wrong. He worked his ass off to get it wrong. A for effort, buddy.
A for effort. Oh man. So along those lines, what's like the craziest or nastiest shit you've seen in somebody's hair? Like
good question.
Like
Good
fleas,
question.
or like piojos, or like
Lice.
jizz, lice.
So for the most part, obviously, the people that come to our spot, they're pretty hygienic.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
What's
if anything, they care about is like maybe coming in a little sweaty post gym.
Right.
Sometimes some guys will ride their bike there and like come straight in and just be covered in sweat. Like, dude, go towel off for a little bit.
You
but
tell them go shower out. Hit the showers, Bob.
But one time I worked an event with a church that was helping like homeless youth.
Yeah.
And just voluntary a few hours, cut as many as I could, and I saw some things there, and understandable. Where it's just like the hair felt like it hadn't been washed in days, or there's like grease buildups, or like really strong tangles that couldn't come out.
Yeah.
But I mean, given the situation,
Hey man,
For
but
sure.
that you'd expect that. Probably.
No, absolutely.
And is all that just fix like the heavy tangles and stuff like that, just like with a simple wash, or is it?
I'm not sure with this particular hair type because it was a young black woman, and I don't know what she would have to. I think she would have to cut it off.
Probably, it's like a dread, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta
let it
just
grow
get
back
rid,
out,
cut it off.
Yeah.
Start over. Damn, bro.
Yeah.
What else?
Does it ever bug you like if you give somebody a haircut and they walk out wearing a cap?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
I did that today, but
People-
it's because he fucked it up. So.
You should.
Deep down inside, I knew he fucked it up. Hey, another question.
Yeah.
When they ask me round or square, what's the right answer?
Yes, there is
That's
no
a
right
good one.
answer.
Yeah. What do you get?
Round or square? It's just again like I'll tell them like, well, it's a round shape or a squared shape, like per your aesthetic. What do you prefer?
Unless it's like a skin fade, right? Because then it's like a.
Well, no, this is the back. This is when someone would leave growth in the back of their neck.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you're looking at the back of the neck, and you have the option of a tapered neckline, squared neckline, square with rounded edges. You know, and and from there you pick. But for some people, it's just like, what does
do I
any
do?
of that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to pick the wrong answer.
Yeah, I was like, well, what? You tell me, man. What's
Like-
what's best? I think like.
I'm like, I don't see
I think
it,
one
so
time I
whatever.
asked for what's
rectangle an
more
option?
trendy.
What's more trendy?
What does David Beckham get?
Yeah.
Hey, dude. So
good.
who
That
cuts
is
your
good.
hair, man?
That's good.
Do you cut your own hair? Or like, you,
I do. I cut the top, and then I'll have someone cut the sides, or I'll cut it myself
You
sometimes.
just like stare in a mirror and
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I'd obviously really love to cut my own hair. It'd be really cool.
Especially right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. So like, is there like a current like hairstyle that's really popular? Like the hairstyle that you cut the most?
So the hairstyle that's still trending the most is the bald fade with the side part and the hard part in there, or maybe not even bald, like a 0 or a half or 1, like short sides, real aggressive with like the hair coming over. But trends will change, and this trend's been going on for a while, and eventually. It takes a little courage in the beginning when the trends start, like for you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can go that short. And then people start doing it. Now everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
Grandpas are doing it. Businessmen are doing it. It's not necessarily cool anymore. It's like too trendy, right?
Right.
So these are the people that are giving the example to the youth. To the 12-year-olds like 5 years ago who are now 17 or now 18 who are like, I don't want to look like my dad.
Yeah.
I don't
For
wanna look
sure.
like my uncle.
So it's gonna change soon.
Yeah, so it's already changing. We're already seeing it. It's more lived in, shaggy. It's the opposite of clean. Because it was all clean, real clean. Everybody was doing it. It was super cool. Now it's just texture, shaggy, no more fades, maybe a tapered neckline, and just wearing it messy. But it's gonna take a lot of cool people in the media to do it, for it to get to like
an actor or somebody.
Like
like-
Kanye's
Or
gotta have
David
shaggy hair.
Beckham.
Nobody's following Kanye.
Yeah. So, but outside of that, another thing that's real popular right now is like dudes like bleaching their hair.
Yeah.
The Neymar.
Dude, so if I walk in and I'm like, hey bro, I want a faux hawk, what comes to mind? What do you think?
And be like, sweet. Really? Easy money.
This idiot.
So,
Do you ever have
Full House would be
customers?
fun.
Do you ever have customers who like come in? They're just like, do whatever you want.
Yeah. And
Are those fun, or do you not
No, I
like
hate
those?
it.
You hate it
I hate
because
it.
you know
I'm gonna
we're
be honest, I hate
Because
it. Because communication's so
Marlon.
important, like we were saying earlier. I don't necessarily hate it, but like here's gonna be a struggle because that person either thinks that you know exactly how to cut their hair, or that person just doesn't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell which one's which.
Right.
So you have to treat it as the more severe case. So like I'm just gonna treat it like this person cares a lot. So let me ask them 20 questions I don't want to answer, so I can figure out how to cut your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What's the biggest tip you've ever gotten?
$200.
Damn.
Boy. One haircut?
Is that like
Logan
Christmas
Mitchell.
time?
Damn, makes me feel like shit.
Once, bro?
One time? Oh man, dude.
So, we're coming up on 30 minutes now. So
Oh,
I guess
shit.
yeah, it went by
Flew
like
by,
that.
dude. Dude, I can't wait for you to cut my hair in 2
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah.
dude, in Austin.
I'll
That's
let you
gonna
know
be
for
I'm
sure.
gonna get
I was
excited,
gonna
bro.
say, can you?
I can't wait for you to cut my hair next too.
We're all gonna
After
Like
I was
it
gonna,
worked.
so I was gonna say, go ahead and just mention it one more time where you're at and kind of where it's at here in Houston for anybody visiting.
Want
Yeah,
to plug your
so,
social media too?
Yeah, Julio. My Instagram is @Jules_Kaiser. I work at the Argyle League. It's in the heart of Montrose in Alabama. It's the main cross streets. We're inside of a shopping center that has Siphon Coffee, which is pretty popular.
You should go there.
Check us out.
Awesome, man.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Julio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
man,
hey, thanks,
for
man.
sure.
Appreciate you coming out
For
here,
sure. Mike.
Appreciate you
Marlon.
pointing out Tom's mistake.
I had to.
dude. I was so comfortable with him too, man.
I guess now I can take off my cap. I feel
I was always gonna have you do it during it, like show it, show
Yeah,
it.
so
And
anyway, so
this
this is-
guy,
That's hilarious.
this guy right here has great fucking hair.
Right?
I get
See,
that a
bro?
lot. I get that a lot.
I get that a
fucking
lot.
hair.
Yeah.
And you have a really strong cowlick, so like it would take somebody to know how to cut hair, how to cut that
Yeah.
properly.
And that's where I struggle, man, because the guy was like,
He's so struggling.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
Marlon, I think we just confirmed you're a barber's wet dream right now.
oh my god.
But it's also not an easy haircut because that hair looks really particular. Like if you don't cut it the right way, it's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
It's so thick.
Yeah,
though,
dude.
right?
Like
It's
if I
luscious.
and it grows like that, man. Like I went from having a little bit longer,
Yeah.
like this kind of haircut, but kind of a little bit longer. Imagine it from like a 2.5 or 3,
but better.
and I grew it like past my shoulders in like less than a year. It was not even a year when I got my haircut, but it was already past my shoulders and stuff. Like it grows pretty fast.
Bro, you look like Sonic the Hedgehog, dude. It's fucking.
I can't even see
Super
myself, so I don't
nice,
know. I don't know
dude.
what it looks like.
No, it's legit, dude.
It's really dense, but the texture is actually really fine, and it's unforgiving.
Like a woman.
If you showed
It's
up and took
unforgiving.
your hat off, it'd be like, oh yeah.
It sounds poetic.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
unforgiving.
Everyone
We should start a shampoo line and call it Unforgiving.
Right?
Products.
Unforgiving, and Marlon's like a centaur on the fucking bottle.